What up, all my fight fans out there? So we got fight week, guys. We are fight week. We are a few days away from that big showdown, the big fight over there in Abu Dhabi. I am talking about UFC 280. I am talking about Charles Oliveria versus Islam Makhachev, the fight that we've been waiting for so very long. It feels like it's been a very long time since we got this fight, guys, but it's here. It's finally upon us, and here we are, ready to go. I cannot wait. And my first thing I want to ask you guys is this. How can Charles Oliveria beat Islam Makhachev? Well, that's actually a very good question, guys, all things considering. Because, you know, we've seen how Islam is. And the guy has had a loss and he's had a knockout. But that was back in 2015, if I am correct. But since then, he's been on this tear. He's been on this really long win streak. And to my knowledge, he hasn't really even lost very many rounds. He has been just completely just dominant, left and left, right, left and right, just constantly opponent after opponent after opponent, nonstop. The guy is straight up on a tear. So my big question is, how can Charles Oliveria beat him? Well, all things considered, Charles Oliveria, when we look at these two guys, when we match them side by side, Charles Oliveria I feel, is going to be a bigger opponent. I do think Islam is coming in a little bit more size. You know, he's not like Charles. Charles was at 145 for a very, very long time. Very long time. And then, you know, he had his ups and downs. He lost to a lot of really good opponents. You know, he has lost to guys like Frankie Edgar, Anthony Pettis in those divisions. But when he made up in lightweight, he has completely turned himself around and beat some of the best out there. So with the size being on probably Islam's more, but with the experience, I do believe Charles has that. You know, he not only has the experience of being in there with the opponents, he has the experience of being in a main event on a pay-per-view. He has the experience of feeling that pressure of being or fighting for a belt. He has the experience of what it's like to actually defend his belt. He has the experience of going against, you know, guys at a different caliber, at a different level. Now, of course, that is no fault to Islam. You know, we're going to get into that later, but that is 100% no fault to Islam. But as far as Charles goes, Charles has a lot of tools in his tool chest to beat Islam. The thing about Islam is we just do not know, because we have yet to see that much from him like we've seen from Charles. And one thing's for sure, Charles is not afraid to lose because he's actually lost before. We've seen what happens to him. Like I said, like I mentioned before, he's lost to guys like Frankie Edgar and Anthony Pettis back in the day. He's lost to a few other opponents. See, this is, you know, Charles Oliveria isn't some like Khabib or George St. Pierre or some John Jones character that was just dominating for so years and somehow is coming out of nowhere. No, Charles Oliveria has been fighting for a very, very long time, and he has been able to capture our attention by this new way, this new fighting style that he's brought upon us. Like, he basically was able to really fill up his body, really put on the muscle mass, really getting comfortable within his own body at lightweight at 155, and being able to do and show us what he's actually able to really do. Like, imagine if this was him all this time, guys. We would be talking about a much different Charles Oliveria. We would probably be putting him in there right next to a George St. Pierre or John Jones or Anderson Silva. So be that as it may, you know, can Charles Oliveria beat Islam Makhachev? Absolutely, 100% yes. 100% yes. He has seen what Islam has done. You know, he has been in there with the best of the best. You name him, he's probably been in there with them. So there's nothing that Charles, outside of Khabib, you know, he has not went in there against him. That's something we would have definitely loved to have seen. But nonetheless, guys, he has been in there with the guys like Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson, Kevin Lee, you know, like I said, Anthony Pettis, Frankie Edgar. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. So with that being said, can Charles Oliveria beat Islam Makhachev? Absolutely, 100%. Yes, he actually could. Will he? Well, that's something we got to wait and see. But I would like to hear what you guys think. I would like to hear what you guys got to say regarding if Charles Oliveria can beat Islam. I definitely would like to know what you guys got to say in the comments. Please, again, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.